So in line with what happened earlier this week about, the Globe application called Gcash going down, going offline, and some people are getting their accounts compromised, getting hacked, I decided to make this video and give my opinions, 5 ways to avoid getting your accounts hacked, doing best practices in terms of trying to access these accounts that involve financial transactions.
Create, grind, and unwind. Hit that record button.
As a web developer, I have been building websites, and for 12 years, probably around 1,000 websites, who knows. I have been using WordFence and Microsoft Authenticator app for my clients and my own websites. Although, disclaimer, I'm not a cybersecurity expert, but so far none of my websites have been hacked. Most people who are outside the realm of information technology do not have the basic knowledge of how hacking and phishing works. That is why these hackers or scammers are taking advantage by using psychological warfare, a sense of urgency and fear mongering to set up traps for their victims. One of my favorite astronomers and scientists, Mary Curie, said that you fear what you do not understand. So I wanted to help out people. I wanted to help out and put myself in this conversation, make you understand better how to avoid getting your accounts compromised and your money being stolen. Sometimes even large corporations like Globe lack the knowledge, at least in the C-level positions, about hardening security within their applications, whether mobile or web. But with the tendency of our own colleagues to underestimate and undervalue their own knowledge or lack thereof, how can we blame them? The best and most experienced people in the IT industry are paid tenfold compared to what they are probably compensating for their employees. So why would their employees be sticking their necks out for a job that does not value their skills? I believe that people who work in the computer industry should all have a general understanding of each of our field of work, whether it be networking, hardware, software, digital marketing, or creative media. The problem is, in an office-based environment, the stagnation of continuous learning within each field is far more rampant and of a hindrance compared to someone who has been working as an online worker hired overseas by companies from the US, Canada, or wherever, a freelancer or an IT consultant. And in our line of work, technologies and the standards are so fluid that one hallmark today might be obsolete tomorrow. Even if these large corporations have an in-house IT department, I am willing to bet 100% that they either, number one, do not have a system in place where they could revert to the latest secured backup of their apps and restore it as swiftly as possible. And when it comes to cybersecurity, speed is of the key, because once your system has been compromised, you need to revert to the latest secured version while trying to tighten up your security a level further so that the weakness of the system won't be compromised again, or the hackers won't be able to do the same thing that they did to get in your system. Number two, these large corporations probably did not hire the best of breed people assigned in each of the job positions that focuses on specific tasks within the IT department, most especially in the cybersecurity. Now, I have seen local businesses or local corporations or large institutions here in the Philippines that do have an IT department, but their skill is probably more on networking and hardware and software repair or hardware and software solutions. People have the basic knowledge of cybersecurity, but they're not as good as someone who specializes in cybersecurity. Number three, the training and continued learning about these subjects are just not on the company's top agenda, because most of the time companies' priority is in marketing, branding, and sales. Now, this is normal even in businesses outside the Philippines. It's not that advanced in terms of cybersecurity. That's why we see banks here getting hacked. Number four, they hired a third party provider who was supposed to be, or perhaps they assumed that it was the provider's responsibility to make sure that they harden the security of the application or the system that they built. But probably a miscommunication in the scope of work on the contract agreements were overlooked, or probably the provider did not explain himself well enough so that these corporations would understand that cybersecurity should be their main priority when it comes to having an online system where people can log into their accounts and view their funds or whatever transaction they have been doing within these financial or monetary apps. Number five, they do not have a centralized system in place that version controls the updates within the software, in which the monitoring and changes one programmer made cannot be distinguished from another programmer's alteration. I have been building websites for small businesses, tech startups, and creative entrepreneurs for more than 12 years, and based on the data these websites that I've created have been getting and are filtered by WordFence, get hundreds, probably thousands of cyber attacks per month. Much more with these large corporations. They will definitely get, 100 times more attacks. Hackers are far more attracted to systems that could make them money. So they have to put up better cybersecurity programs. Now, for an end user point of view, the customers, these might be too complicated to comprehend, but that's okay. IT is probably as complex as the field of medicine. So people working within the information technology industry should not expect the users to have the same knowledge about it. Blaming them for what happened is just not fair for them. We are supposed to be the experts or the communicators or the educators, where we need to be able to let them know how to avoid these types of problem that's been happening far too often nowadays. This is why user experience is one of the leading studies in design and technology. We are responsible for making users understand how these applications work, how it ticks, and for them on the browser and front end side of things, while keeping it really simple for the general public to navigate. So here are 5 ways to avoid getting hacked. Number one, use obscure non-repeating passwords on all the applications you register for. You can also use software like LastPass when you are, responsible for accessing websites, whether for your clients or for yourself. They have a free account. You can check out their website. I have been using it for clients for years now, and so far, none of my websites have been hacked. Number two, always turn on your computer or cell phone's firewall. Firewall is the first line of defense when it comes to these hackers or scripts that these hackers are trying to put inside your computer so that they can access the data or the information that you have inside your computer. Number three, always use premium security software that updates frequently. It's far more effective in protecting your data rather than a pirated, outdated one. Always. I use Avast premium security, which is probably around a couple of thousand pesos per year. If you buy a package that lasts for 2 or 5 more years, or maybe 10 years, the pricing point will definitely decrease. Sign up for those paid security software. Number four, use an authenticator app like Microsoft Authenticator or Google Authenticator to enable 2FA logins on apps you use. These apps will generate code or verification code that restarts probably around 30 seconds to a minute. When you log into your account, even though you already put in your username and password, you will get prompt by the system that you need a verification code, which is sent to your phone, and on the app you can get the verification code to log into the system. It's very easy to use. You just need to scan a QR code. For me, I use, along with Microsoft Authenticator, I use WordFence on the WordPress websites I've developed. And even though I'm using just the free version of WordFence, it has been very effective in blocking these attacks. And as you can see on the graph, inside a website that I built, it's been filtering out and blocking all of these attacks from different countries. Number five, always be vigilant about messages, emails, chats, and links you see on the internet. Porn watchers, I'm talking to you. One of the things that I keep in mind is that if it's too good to be true of an offer, then it might not be true at all. So always be aware of those offers, like through email, through text and chats. Be careful of the links. Do not just go and click on everything that people send you. Be wary about it. Large corporations do not use personal phone numbers to broadcast important messages. You just have to keep that in mind. Always cross-check emails you receive if the email domain or the web address that comes after the @ symbol is indeed from the company, institution, corporation that they say it was from. You can even check their website out first to see if you can search for the same message or information that was sent to you. Always use the official app to log in and avoid logging in to apps involving money transactions and banking using public Wi-Fi networks such as the Wi-Fi that you get in malls and internet cafes. I hope this video has somehow helped you and gave you an idea about the best practices on how to avoid cybersecurity hacking or phishing attacks. If you are working in the IT industry, more specifically in the field of cybersecurity, please let me know in the comments below what you think and add to the conversation. We want to help as many people as possible, because as much as I want to share my knowledge about these tech subjects, I also want to learn from specialists and experts like you. Cheers, yo. Happy weekend.